In this video, I want to show you guys how I would go about integrating the Eventide H9 with the Fractal Audio AX8. These two make a really great combination because the AX8 has a stereo effects loop available and the H9 has the ability to run all the algorithms from their mod factor, pitch factor, and space pedals, as well as a bunch of H9 specific presets. So I'm going to do all of this in the context of one preset in the AX8 with 8 scenes. There are two basic scenes, one based around the USA C++ model and the other based around the USA Clean. I'm using an IR that I made myself of my Marshall cab with greenbacks. The two basic sounds are on scene 1 and scene 5 here, and essentially it's amp, cab, a little bit of parametric EQ, which I'll show you right here. It's just pulling out a little bit of like 5K and 3 to 4K-ish just to take out some of those ice pick frequencies in the IR when you play really loud. The first amp is the USA C++. I've got it set up like this, and this is my PRS SC245 with the stock pickups. That's pretty much worth the price of entry alone with this unit. I love the way that sounds. And scene 5 is going to be my clean scene. I've got a studio compressor sitting in front of the amp block here. Pretty straightforward on the USA Clean. It sounds like this when I play on the neck pickup. As you can see from the grid in AX8 Edit, this is pretty stacked. The CPU's running about 70%, and I have got a little bit of this recording studio reverb on the two basic scenes. So scene 2 is going to be my lead scene. I'm not using the H9 for this, but what I do is I kick in a boost from a Tube Screamer style pedal, and I've got the stereo BBD delay in here in the AX8, and it sounds like this. So pretty smooth. That delay on there makes everything really nice and lush. All right, let's talk about how I would add the H9 in here. I've got it sitting in the effects loop. I'm going from my cab and parametric EQ into a parallel row with the H9, where I've got the effects loop sitting in there, and the H9 I've got connected in stereo. So I've also got the H9 in kill dry mode, meaning that no dry guitar signal is going to pass through the H9. It's purely going to be wet, and then I can control the blend using the level control on this effects loop block. So the first thing I want to show you guys is on a clean preset, what I would do. Let's have a look at scene 6. It's going to bring up this shimmer setting on the H9, and the way I'm doing this is each scene on the AX8 can send a MIDI program change message. So if you go into the MIDI tab here, you can see each scene I can set the channel it's sending on, which is channel 1 on my H9. You've got to make sure you've got the same MIDI channel set there. And for each scene change on the AX8, I can trigger a totally different effect algorithm in the H9, a different preset. So you can see in scene 6, it is bringing up this shimmer preset, which does this. It sounds really, really gorgeous. I also have a stereo delay on the AX8 going. This time I'm using the Deluxe Mind Guy. You can see the settings there, and I've gone to the Y state of the reverb, which is a South Church reverb. I'll let you hear it with just the verb, then I'll bring in the delay on the AX8, then I'll bring in the shimmer on the H9. I just really like the way that particular shimmer algorithm sounds. I could recreate this with the AX8, but I would probably need the multi-delay block, and that would probably run me out of CPU on this particular preset. So being able to offload that shimmer sound to the external DSP of the H9 is really handy. Scene 7 with the clean sound, one of my favorite algorithms is this undulator algorithm in the H9. Again, I might need 2 or 3 blocks in the AX8 to replicate this sound, where I can do it with one algorithm in the H9. And again, there's still the stereo delay and the big reverb from the AX8 there. I've also kicked in a phaser. And then scene 8, I really like the black hole reverb algorithm in the H9. So this one is, again, it's still the stereo delay and the reverb, which I like for the ambient thing, and the compressor, but I've got the black hole reverb from the H9, sounds like this. And that is awesome and incredibly lush, which I really like. So that's kind of like the whole ambient clean side of this preset. You've already heard the main sounds for the, like, dirty sounds for the AX8, basically the super saturated rhythm sound and then the even more saturated lead sound. What I've got going on scene 3 is a reverse reverb from the H9. Again, something that I would need to use, say, 2 or 3 blocks to get on the AX8, and I don't really have the CPU to spare, so I'll just chuck it onto the H9. And this is essentially the same thing as my lead scene, but with this awesome reverse verb. Absolutely lush. And then for some 80s grease on scene 4, it's the same scene as my lead scene on the AX8, but I'm sending a MIDI program change message to the H9 to activate this H910 pitch detune thing. So yeah, you can't get any more 80s than this. This is so indulgent. Super rich there. I could literally sit there and play with that sound for hours, and I often do. So the main advantage here is being able to have all your core sounds on the AX8 ready to go, and then essentially designing the preset so that you can bring the H9 in as like the icing on the top. So if you've got an ambient preset where maybe you need an extra big reverb or something, you can offload that onto the H9. If you've got a lead preset where you want a couple of different flavors on it, or you've got a rhythm preset, say, where you might want a different EQ and you simply just don't have enough CPU on the AX8, you can offload it all onto the H9 and then have it all synced up using MIDI. And this is all within one preset, which is super cool. You're not having to have like multiple presets on the AX8. I've just got the H9, I should say, sitting in the effects loop, and then I can put the effects loop anywhere I like in the grid in a given preset. I could obviously have other presets with 8 scenes where, say, I wanted my H9 as pre-effects, and then I could use the AX8 like time-based effects after the amp. In this case, I'm doing it the other way around. So it's a really nice way to complement this particular rig. I saw a video with Larry Mitchell, who's just incredible and pulls some amazing sounds doing a similar thing, and that really inspired me to try both of these out. They're really easy to integrate with MIDI. The scenes in the AX8, like I said, make it super handy if you just want want to have a kitchen sink preset and chuck the H9 in there. And because the H9 has so many different algorithms, there's really so many options. You could recreate this particular preset, say 5 or 6 times, and for each of the extra scenes that I've got in there, have a different effect algorithm. So it really like soups up the AX8. It's basically like Pimp My Ride or Pimp My Tone by adding the H9 in there. So hopefully this gives you guys some ideas. If you already own an H9 and an AX8 and you haven't tried them together, you really should, because they make a great combo. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all next time. Be good.